Germany was once the economic wonder of the world. Because now the EU projects Germany will be the backlight of economic growth in 2025. That's why the government introduced the new Growth Initiative that will bring big changes in 2025. How will you profit from that growth initiative? Stay tuned and find out in this PerFinEx video. To get some structure into the 17 different changes that will affect your life, let's start with your typical day. You wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, put on some pants hopefully, and then go to work. If you take the public transport, we have the first change already. There was a lot of talk that the government will get rid of the Deutschlandticket that allows you to take almost any public transport, but they didn't. It will still be there in 2025, just 9 euros more expensive at 58 euros a month. If you don't take public transport but go by car to work, there may be something good and something bad for you. The good is that electronic company cars are taxed with the 0.25% rule instead of the 1% rule. So you could say that you pay only 25% of the taxes for an electronic company car compared to a regular car. So far, the electronic company car couldn't cost more than 70k, and in 2025, this maximum will increase to 95,000 euros. So, go ahead and get that expensive Tesla that you always wanted. And the bad is, the CO2 tax will increase from 45 cents a ton to 55 cents a ton. So if you don't have an electric car and need gas, benzene is expected to get 4 cents more expensive and diesel about 5 cents. Okay, now you arrived at work. Get your first coffee, and because it's the end of the month, you get your payslip. And oh boy, there's something real nice, depending on your income, and something real bad, you see. What's real nice is that every one of us will pay less taxes next year, because the tax-free earnings amount will rise to 12,084 euros. We talked about this in more detail 2 weeks ago. So let me just say in short here, nobody has to pay taxes for the first 12k you earn. Only after that, you have to pay a given income tax percentage based on your income. Speaking about income, if you work for minimum wage, you will be very happy, because it rises from 12.41 euro to 12.82 euro next year. And if you don't work for minimum wage, you will be very happy as well, because the 42% income tax bracket won't start at 66,760 euros, as it does this year. It starts a lot later at 68 euros, 430. This is probably the most misunderstood concept when it comes to taxes here in Germany, that many people seem to think you have to pay 42% income tax on your entire income when making 68k next year. But that's not true. We discussed this in many videos already, and if we should take our time and talk about taxes in 2025, so everyone knows exactly what's going on, then let me know in the comments below. There are 2 more positive things you might find on your payslip before we come to the bad news. Hey, it can't all be sunshine and rainbows. The best of 2021 was that the government abolished the solidarity tax for the majority of people in Germany. Only high earners are still paying this tax. And that's why the salary threshold for this is rising as well to about 73k next year. We don't have the official number just yet, but it's roughly gonna be 73k. And the last good news on your payslip, if you work overtime, there's a high probability that you had to pay Social Security and taxes as you do for regular income. Our former finance minister, Christian Lindner, wants to change that now. His plan is that you get paid in overtime completely free of tax and Social Security. And with the IG Metall estimating that we work 700 million hours in overtime every year, that would mean a lot of money in our pockets. There are still some open questions until this change is final. Does it apply to everyone or just people working in full-time, for example? Because if you would apply this to part-timers as well, I'm sure a lot of people would go from their 40-hour full-time job to a 20-hour part-time job and then do 20 hours overtime. Am I right? What's below your income and tax section on your payslip? Right, Social Security. And oh boy, you might want to sit down for this one. The public health insurance is rising by up to 11.87%. And yes, that's not a typo. We calculated it through in the video 2 weeks ago. Depending on your income, it could also be less, but if you earn above 66K, you will pay almost 12% more next year. The only option you have is to switch to the private health insurance if you earn more than 73,800 euros. And if we can help you select the best plan, which doesn't rise by 12%, then let us know by booking a free meeting with us on perfinex.de/meeting. Now, if we want to have a glass half full kind of approach, we could say that the coverage in the care insurance is also rising, and that's why they increased the public health insurance premiums. But the increase in coverage is 4.5% only, so far away from the 12% premium increase, which means you're just getting ripped off. And the same with the German public pension. You will pay 6.62% more next year than this year, independent of your income. And there's no way to escape this. But at least the pension payments will rise as well next year. We don't have the final number, but the expectation is around 3%. So you're getting ripped off again because you have to pay 6.62% more while they might pay out 3% more. But hey, at least your workday is over now, so it's time to go home again. Speaking about your home, affordable living is a big problem here in Germany. We talked about that just last week. You either pay a of rent or you pay a mortgage for the rest of your life. And to help all of us, the government will pay out the record number of 3.5 billion euro next year and more than 20 billion until 2028. Check out the video from last week if you would like to know how you can profit from that, either by moving into affordable housing yourself or by investing in affordable housing and making the government pay for that with their 20 billion subsidies. Who might be at home waiting for you? Your kids, if you have any. Otherwise, it would be a little weird, I think, if you don't have kids and you come home and suddenly there's some random kids there that you've never seen before. Anyway, the Kinderfreibetrag, the amount you can earn tax-free if you have kids, just like the Grundfreibetrag we talked about earlier in change 4, will rise to 9,600 euro. And since we found a lot of different numbers being thrown around the internet, here is the official government website confirming the 9,600 euros. Depending on your income situation, the Kinderfreibetrag or the Kindergeld might be more beneficial for you. If it's Kindergeld, you will also get more because this one will rise to 255 euros a month next year. And below certain income categories, there will also be different kinds of subsidies where the government invests another 1 billion euros. To see if you are eligible for any of these subsidies, reach out to your local Familienkasse and find out. All these kids benefits are a big part in the early elections next year. And if we move forward in your typical day, you might be able to vote on February 23rd. If you are eligible, please do vote. The current government has made a lot of questionable decisions, to say the least, and we've all paid the price for it. And speaking from experience, when I talk to you guys in meetings, most of you are pretty smart. And if there's one thing that we need, it's smart people to make the right decisions. So, please go vote if you're eligible. What did we learn in this video? 2025 brings a lot of new changes, some positive and some pretty bad, like the 12% increase of the public health insurance. The good news here is that you can actually do a lot against the negative changes. You might be able to exit the public health insurance, and you are able to counter a lot of tax increases with the right tax-deductible expenses. And if we can help you in saving taxes, not filing your taxes because we are no tax advisor, if we can help you save taxes, then let us know by booking a free meeting with us on perfinex.de/meeting. Happy Sunday, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.